What's up, brand builders? Stephen Horahan here at brandmasteracademy.com, and in this video you're going to learn what sustainable branding is with principles, processes, and 7 of the best brand strategy examples, so you can understand the increasing importance of this branding approach to make better connections through a better impact. Now, sustainability branding has become a divisive term among consumers. On the one hand, you have the optimists applauding the change brands are making for the sustainability of the planet. And on the other hand, you have the pessimists pointing to greenwashing and saying that it's nothing more than marketing spin. But without a doubt, brands and how sustainable they are is a topic that's here for the long haul, and its importance is ramping up as well. So let's dive into what sustainable branding is, why its importance is growing, and how to incorporate sustainability into the brands that you build. So what is sustainability for a brand? Well, sustainability branding is the process of focusing and integrating identified environmental, economic, and social issues into the operations of a business. Now, these sustainability efforts involve creating, maintaining, and projecting a brand that offers the benefits of sustainability to the customers and the planet as well. Now, generally, consumers are becoming more switched on to the damage that brands are doing to the environment, and sustainable brands are leading the charge to reverse that cycle to meet that growing demand and that growing appetite from those consumers. Now, of course, traditional businesses, they're all about maximizing profits. That's what their sole focus is. But sustainability branding looks at a greater purpose than just promise. And an effective sustainability program makes it clear to the target audience that their business model aspires to more than just boosting that bottom line. So why is sustainability branding becoming more important? Well, as I mentioned before, people are now more concerned than ever about finding effective ways to address the environmental, economic, and social issues that are going on in the world. Now, more eco-friendly brands are emerging, putting the needs of the planet ahead of profits. And today's consumers expect brands to become more sustainable in their business operations, and it's only those brands that support these ideals that will make that long-term impact. So that's why consumers are really starting to put the onus on brands now to do more for the environment. And this isn't just lip service either, because consumer spending patterns are actually changing. According to Business Wire, 60% of global consumers rate sustainability as an important purchasing criteria. And look, most of us like to think that we would put our money where our mouth is, and this is the case with consumers and sustainability. Consumers now seek out products and services that support the causes they care about, such as renewable energy and purchasing green products. But it's not enough as a brand to just embrace sustainability. You have to properly communicate your commitment to fighting climate change and fighting those environmental issues head on. Brands that take a stand on social issues and those who are proactive in their communication will easily win the hearts of their target audience. So let's talk about some of the principles of sustainable branding, because it goes beyond just using green themed logos and designs or sticking eco-friendly labels around packages. Your entire process has to reveal sustainability to be able to get that message out there. Principle number 1, create a sustainability roadmap. Now, there are a lot of brands out there that talk about sustainability, and you as a brand as well. You can talk about sustainability as much as you want, but unless we start to see that sustainability in your operations, in your everyday processes, then there's very little to go on, there's very little to believe. And as a business and a brand, it's going to be very difficult to make sure that those sustainability principles are seen out there in the market and that you're having any kind of influence. A good roadmap will help businesses create sustainable strategies that will help to guarantee those long-term impact results and that market relevance as well. Principle number 2, understand the process. Now, if you're a brand designer or a copywriter, sometimes you're working outside the organization or you're not directly involved in the operations side of things, and yet you're still tasked with the responsibility of creating a brand image or a brand voice. So before you go placing any kind of demand on your creative gland, you'll need to understand everything that goes on within the business and the brand that you're marketing and how those processes align with the mindset of the consumers in terms of sustainability. Your job will then be to help create that connection between the processes and the purpose, and then creatively communicate that to the consumers. Now, as a copywriter or a designer, you can help your clients to find and build their sustainability branding narrative by looking at their entire process from material selection to production to packaging and end-to-end use. Principle number 3, embrace transparency and integrity. Now, sustainability branding is not about greenwashing. There's been a lot said about greenwashing, and there have been a lot of brands that have been jumping on the sustainability bandwagon, and that's why there's such a divisive opinion in the market. Now, there's no need to put an eco-friendly label on a product when you can't showcase what was done differently to make that product sustainable. That said, you do want to be authentic and transparent and talk about what you're already doing to support sustainability efforts. Now, even if you're not there yet, you can still share your big vision and then talk about the milestones that you're hitting. Now, I probably don't need to say this because it goes without saying, but claims about your sustainability business must be notable and verifiable, and the benefits should be directly relevant to the consumer. You don't want the backlash that'll come from claiming that you're sustainable when you are not, in fact, sustainable. That is blatant greenwashing. So you want to make sure that your message and the message that you send out to your audience, it aligns with your sustainability efforts and that it is consistent over time. Principle number 4, purpose ahead of profit. Now, being sustainable is about being people and planet oriented. Now, this is a sharp contrast, of course, to the traditional business model, which is all about maximizing profit and boosting that bottom line. But a sustainable brand will have a bigger vision, which is to create a lasting impact on people, economies, the environment, and communities as well. So with all that said, how do you go about creating a sustainable brand? Well, sustainability practices revolve around social, economic, and environmental responsibilities, and they can be about reducing emissions, providing eco-friendly packaging, using renewable energy, recycling, enabling the availability of clean water, any number of these sustainable practices that will impact the planet positively. Step 1, get started by engaging stakeholders. Now, companies need to engage in conversations with their stakeholders and their customers as well to be crystal clear about what sustainability means to them, what the expectations are, and how to gradually commit to those expectations as a brand. Step number 2, promote sustainability practices in operations. Now, whatever happens in the production process is what becomes your sustainability branding story. So you need to identify areas where you can be more sustainable than you currently are. You can appoint a sustainability executive to oversee and implement your business and your sustainability strategies. Step number 3, audit your existing processes. Now, some brands are already sitting on huge sustainability credentials that they're not reflecting in their communication to their consumers. By auditing your existing processes, you can find areas that you've been exceptionally sustainability compliant. Now, once you've done that, you can capitalize on that foundation of sustainability practices to reinvent your brand communications across your email, your social media, and other marketing channels as well. Step 4, partner with other sustainable brands. Now, retailer brands, for example, can stick to products that have their roots in sustainability practices and communicate that to their customers. By showcasing and marketing only green products that have been produced from sustainable practices, they're showcasing themselves as sustainable brands. So let's have a look at some of the best examples of sustainable brands and companies that have really embraced that sustainability branding and they're communicating it effectively to their target audience. Number 1, Starbucks. Now, with their green and white themed logo, Starbucks already showcases itself as an eco-friendly company. You visit their website or their social media profiles, and you don't need anyone to explain to you that this company is 100% built around sustainability. You'll find images, graphic illustrations, and messaging that showcase plant-based menu options, reusable packaging, regenerative agriculture, and better waste management. And as a way of transparency, they also invite their customers to track the way they produce their products and how they're cutting emissions by 50%. Number 2, Dell. Now, Dell brand themselves as sustainable by using renewable energy from solar panels in their plans to reduce emissions. Now, they've also committed part of their profits to remove about 86 million metric tons of plastic from the oceans, while also recycling these resources to create new products as well. And in communicating these as a brand, you'll see the green colors on the designs of their packaging. And in addition, Dell also has a friendly recycling plan in place. You can send back your used equipment to Dell and they'll safely destroy the potentially harmful parts at no cost to the consumer. Number 3, Beyond Meat. Now, recognizing how the meat production industry impacts the environment negatively, Beyond Meat uses plant-based alternatives to create healthier products that taste just like real meat. And with illustrated graphics and green-themed photos, they really bring this across in their visual identity and their website, and they're really following through with that message as well of saving the planet and helping consumers to live healthier at the same time. Number 4, who gives a crap? Now, this toilet paper maker brands itself as toilet paper that builds toilets and dedicates 50% of its profits to building toilets in impoverished countries in the developing world. Now, the toilet papers are either made from 100% bamboo or recycled fiber, and they pride themselves in producing extra soft toilet papers. Now, this is a great example of a green brand that combines the trifecta of environmental, economic, and social issues in its branding strategy. Number 5, Lush. Now, Lush projects this brand as an eco-friendly and sustainable brand because that is exactly what they do. Everything on their website, everything on their social media profiles, it mentions their commitment to sustainability, and their sustainability practices are clear for any visitor that come to their website because that's what they talk about. They say what they stand for as a brand, and they especially showcase 100% vegan and handmade cosmetics. Number 6, Pela. Now, Pela produces 100% biodegradable products in a bid to reduce plastic waste and create a waste-free future. Now, they make phone cases, AirPod cases, smartwatch brands, sunglasses, and other accessories from compostable and biodegradable materials, which are also free from toxic chemicals. And number 7, Green Toys. Now, Green Toys produces safe and green toys for kids that are made from 100% recycled products. You visit their website or their social media profiles and you'll see how they use colors and images and carefully crafted words to pass across their message as an eco-friendly brand. Green Toys didn't just mention that they use recyclable products, they wanted to further state that what they're doing really does help the planet. They're recycling toys that will really help the environment and really set kids off on the right message. Now, Green Toys didn't just say they were using recycled material to make their toys. They really wanted to emphasize exactly what they were recycling to make the toys, which was milk jugs. Now look, without a doubt, sustainability branding offers an edge to brands that actually have some weight behind the words that they put out there. Who Gives a Crap makes soft toilet paper from recyclable material, and then they use a chunk of their profits to build toilets in rural areas. So you can see the connection between the language, between the words, between the message, and what they actually do. So let your brand designs reinforce your sustainability. Your logo, your website, your social media, your product packaging, they should all communicate your dedication to sustainability, and your messaging strategy, your storytelling, it should tell that story and why that's important to your brand. So think about how you can carefully convey that message, how you can craft that message, how you can craft that story, and then weave it throughout your entire brand identity. Now, our next video up here will help you dive deeper into brand strategy, but before you click on that, make sure you hit the subscribe if you want to learn how to become a master of brand.